Okay, we are live. So today it's winter solstice. Thank you for everybody coming and joining. Welcome back. I'm Debbie A. Anderson, welcoming you to another Monday Live. Yes, it's Monday at noon Eastern, and I invite you to join me here as I chat with another vibrational guest. And for those of you who join me every week, you know that the first person on the feed gets to choose whether it is the green deck or the orange deck. So pop it up there. And if you're a Facebook user, because Facebook have changed things, put your name and as well. So at least you get your 5 seconds of, fame on it. So I've lit my candle today. So we're all set with the intentions. I have my lovely Virgin of Guadalupe. And the reason I had to light it is because as it goes further and further down, my little box of matches is becoming a challenge. So that is all lit. So I don't see anybody coming up on the feed at the moment. So Jordan, would you like to choose which deck the affirmation today is chosen from?
I'm feeling the I Am Sacred green deck.
Okay, yep, me too. So let me just shuffle the deck here and then we will see. And what I always love about this, Jordan, is the card that comes up is very much in tune with what we have. So it's card number 24, I Am Sacred, and unique, radiating out vibrational beauty. And we have this beautiful peacock there.
Lovely.
I love it because of all the colors in there. So that is our card for today.
Nice.
So just a quick reminder, if you want to receive more from me through I have a spiritual development group. It's called Debbie A. Anderson's The Sharing Place, which is we're recording from today. And if you're not part of that and you're watching on YouTube, you can join us. The link is in the feed below, because I periodically offer free sharings, which tonight at 5 p.m. MST, so that will be 7 p.m. Eastern, I will be doing Winter Solstice on the Beach with sunset salutations for everyone to participate in. So my conversation today is with Jordan Scott-Trepanier, and the subject is keep mind, body, and soul well this winter. And Jordan owns this amazing place called the Estate of Health in Kingsville, Ontario. So if you live close to that, you should check her out. But before I begin, let me share a little about who and what Jordan is about. Jordan has always felt a strong connection to nature. Hi, Debbie. Thanks for joining us. So from youth through to adulthood, she found most of her personal growth and healing took place in nature, enhanced by natural wellness practices and products. This inspired her to explore the ever-flowing gifts of shamanism, herbalism, holistic medicine, and Kundalini yoga, which she now shares with pleasure. She strives to safely guide others to a deeper levels of self-awareness, wellness, and liberation through various holistic modalities, sculpting a unique treatment empowerment plan for each client. That sounds interesting. Jordan has a BA honors in psychology, a diploma from the International College of Holistic Studies for holistic health counseling. She's a Reiki master, a shamanistic practitioner, as well as a certificate yoga teacher in both Hatha and Kundalini traditions. Jordan continues learning, like we all do, and is excited to share any knowledge and wisdom that may assist humanity in evolving and harmonizing with this sacred planet. And of course, I can understand choosing the sacred affirmation deck. So welcome, Jordan, and thank you for joining us today, because I know you're extremely busy getting the Estate of Health up and running.
Yes, thank you so much for having me, Debbie.
You're welcome. So before we jump into what you're sharing with us today, tell me a little bit about this amazing wellness center you've created. What inspired you? Like, how did it happen? Because it's not, okay, this is what I'm going to do. There's a journey, which I love.
It was a journey. It's been a lifelong journey. I have always really dreamed of working in this field of holistic wellness and in some way, shape, or form, manifesting all of the intentions that go into living in sync with nature, getting back to the rhythm of our own soul, you know, in a space so people can come and actually feel that shift being supported in a way that in our regular society doesn't necessarily feel that way, you know?
Yeah. Yes. Especially at the moment.
Yes, yes. So, you know, I didn't really know exactly what this was going to look like. I just knew it was what I wanted to do.
I love it.
And I grew up in Kingsville. I've lived here most of my life. And there was this big, beautiful old home with a large stone fence around it. And it always kind of felt like, as a child walking around this place, always felt mysterious and like cloaked in wonder and you know, something. Yeah, like there's something mystical about that place. You just want to, almost like the secret garden, you know, like you want to go in, you just want to feel it.
Yeah.
And I just remember feeling like one day when I grow up, I'm going to have enough money where I can rent a room at that place and I'm going to try it. I'm going to see what it's like, you know?
I love it. I love that, setting the intention, because we sometimes forget the importance of that, of, you know, seeing what we want. And when I dropped off the holistic directories to your beautiful center, when I was walking through, it reminded me of a very old style stately home that you would drive past in the UK and go, oh, I wish this was my place. Or not. Sometimes they take a lot of maintenance, but it's absolutely gorgeous from what I saw in my little quick, here's the directories I've got to run kind of thing. So
yeah. So, I mean, it's one of those, like, those stately manners where it does feel like it's from another time, another world.
Yeah.
And it really kind of is. You know, this is the founder of Kingsville, Colonel James King. He built this home in 1856.
Wow. So it's bagged with history. Oh, I bet you've got lots of ghosts though. I should
Absolutely. It's so cool. And so, you know what, before we owned it, it was a bed and breakfast, and it had been sitting for sale for several years. And I believe that the previous owners were waiting for the right time and the right person to come around, right? So my mom is a huge lover of history and historical buildings, and this place kind of drew and called to her, you know. And so she was like, you know, let's just look at it. Let's just, you know, take a peek and see. And she fell in love with it. And she asked me, you know, do you want to collaborate and make this dream a reality and, you know, turn this place?
How many seconds did it take you to go, yes?
Yeah, like maybe a millisecond, right? And the thing is, too, it's on this beautiful property with old trees. It's very protected energy, right? These guardians of, you know, the old forest that used to be here. They're still here. And so there's something really sacred about this land.
I loved that when I came in that you kept the big trees there, because that to me again is synonymous with these stately homes in the UK that have the surrounding of trees to protect them. I always think like the masters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, masters of the space. Yeah, so we were very grateful to have the opportunity here, and we started on our renovations about a year ago in January of 2020, and started to make it into a wellness center. So the interior renovations are complete now, and so we are, well, before we got locked down in this area with COVID, we did open.
Yay.
So we have 6 treatment rooms, and we have an amazing team here of just under 20 practitioners and teachers offering all different types of holistic modalities, from physical therapies, you know, massage therapy, reflexology, to energetic things like Reiki and shamanism, to emotional and psychological counseling. We've got it all, you know.
Yeah.
And
I know you have some great things to share, which we'll do at the end.
Yes, for
You've
sure.
got some amazing things coming up.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed and toes crossed and all that kind of thing, as it were. So tell us what, for this winter, what we can do to keep mind, body, and soul well.
Right.
I know you have some practices you want to share for mental and physical health. some teas and herbs you want to talk about for immune boosting as well. So I'll let you jump right into that.
Okay, for sure. Yeah. Well, obviously, it's never really felt like more of an urgent thing to take care of our minds and our hearts than right now.
Definitely.
Obviously, our bodies too, with there being something we've never experienced before, at least in our lifetimes. You know, so there are ways for us to keep ourselves up. On the physical level, I love herbs. I absolutely love working with herbs. They are nature's teachers.
Yes.
Right? They're reaching out to us, just hoping that we might notice them just by smelling them, seeing them, or getting to taste them, you know?
Yes.
So there are some that are really rock stars when it comes to boosting our immunity. And there's something I'd like to talk about a little bit. That's the difference between immunostimulants, like herbs that will stimulate our immune system, and immunoprotectants. So herbs that will just keep us, you know, steady on a regular basis. And the reason that I want to talk about these, the reason why I bring it up is that immunostimulants work really well when we're starting to feel vulnerable, when we feel like, oh, you know, I have a tickle in my throat, or, you know, I was around somebody who's potentially infectious. And they're good to take for a certain period of time to really give us that strong edge, and then to take a break. So the one that comes to mind right away is Echinacea.
Oh,
and this is, you know, a classic. Everybody knows about Echinacea. The only thing is that it really works best when we, it's like one of those friends you really love, but they, you know, you need a little break sometimes too. And then when you come back together, it's awesome again.
Perfect. Yes.
You know, that's Echinacea. That's the type of friend that is. So we need to take a little break after maybe 2 or 3 weeks of using it. And that helps our immune system to learn to work for itself. Because when we are constantly relying on that, then it gets a little lazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so Echinacea is a great thing to bring out when you need it, but also take a break. The other things, the other herbs that are protectors and supporting our immune system, are the things that are high in vitamin C. So right away, I love to talk about rose hips and elderberries.
I love rose hips because it was something as a kid we would go and collect in the autumn. And in fact, in those days in the UK, we would take them to somewhere, and I think they would give my mum some money for collecting them, because they would make rose hip syrup. So we'd love that. My mum wasn't quite into the herbs and how to do it. If it didn't come in a package, she wasn't quite there, because she was a working mum, of a single parent working mum. So it was a case of, I need to feed my family and all those kind of things. But I do remember the rose hips, and of course elderberries.
So wonderful. Yes. And you know, when, like, even now, I was out yesterday in Wheatley, in a conservation area, just walking, and there was such an abundance of rose hips.
Yes.
And they're so beautiful, like, especially in winter, they catch your eye, you know, and there's a reason that nature speaks to us if we listen, but at the time that we need it. So that's why, you know, eating things in season and using herbs that are in season are the best ways for us to support our wellness. So rose hips are abundantly available right now out in nature if they grow wild near you, like wild roses. But they're packed with vitamin C, and they're wonderful for supporting your immune system.
Yeah.
Some other herbs.
Great tea out of them as well. Rose hip tea is wonderful.
Yes.
Not only looks good, because it's got that lovely rich red color, but oh wow, it really tastes good too.
It does. It really does. I've got them actually in a couple of my blends here at Estate of Health.
I love it.
So other herbs that are fantastic for supporting our immune systems are thyme, you know, rosemary, a lot of even cooking culinary herbs. Just boost it up, you know, make your food a little more flavorful, and you're helping your immune system as you go. The other herbs that I wanted to touch on today are the ones that help to soothe and calm our nervous system. And the adrenal gland protectants, those adaptogens. Those are a really, really important class of herbs that we need to be using on a regular basis right now, just because, let's face it, we all are under a lot more stress than we're used to. There's the potential threat in our immunities and our communities. We're caring about our loved ones and our friends, and a lot of us have been losing people and have been seeing others close to us or ourselves dealing with some of the more difficult mental health struggles that come around with, the fear, as we were talking about earlier, fear, the isolation, that loneliness, that feeling of separation that produces anxiety. So the herbs that I really, really love to go to for that purpose are ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is this beautiful root. It's related to ginseng. And it's a wonderful adaptogen. It tastes beautiful too. It's got a nice little nutty kind of creamy flavor.
It's a new one to my list. So
oh yeah, it's so good. So that's a really nice one. As well as tulsi or holy basil, it's also called. This is a really, really good one. It's protecting for your immune system as well. So that one is kind of like a double whammy. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Lemon balm is another favorite of mine, or Melissa officinalis. That's a beautiful, beautiful herb. Yes. It really helps to soothe the nervous system and bring us back into that sympathetic state. Yeah. So that's a really nice herb for that. So that's my spiel on herbs.
I love that. So, just as somebody that I have a small potted garden in my condo, and I always put different herbs and things in there. So I know we can get lemon balm. I know some places will sell Melissa, but some of the other ones, are they available as a plant form, or are we looking that they can be bought as a dried form or within some form of tea or things like that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the holy basil or tulsi, you can often get that as a plant, or at least you can find seeds, and it grows very, very easily. It's very easy to propagate. Yeah. So for like a small garden, the lemon balm is amazing. It's a super hardy plant. Like you can't really,
and it gets very prolific as well if you're not careful.
It does. It likes to spread, and that's great because then you have more for your friends and family, right?
Yeah. Well, I usually when I have lemon balm or mint or something like that, I chop it up and then just pop it in the oven to dry it. It's in a form that you can just throw it into a tea bag or into one of those infusers, and it works perfectly. So maybe this is another sideline. You'll have greenhouses there where you'll be propagating all these unusual types of herbs and things that people can get, and
absolutely
how to teach them how to use them.
Absolutely. It's in the plans. Debbie, I'm telling you, you're reading my mind. Yeah. We have a large property here, and part of what is the intention here is to grow most of the herbs that I sell. So we'll sell bulk herbs, and I also make up tea blends here too. So I'm very happy to share the herbal goodness. Now, the rose hips and the elderberries are probably something more available in a dried form. Yeah. Actually, if you down in Mexico, I know elderberries do like to go down there. Yes. I put in a few trees here actually this year, so you might have to wait a bit before they start fruiting, but in the future you can gather them.
Elderberries, we have those lovely flowers before the fruit comes, which sometimes people make elderflower water and stuff like that, which is
so nice.
Very tasty.
And something that just came to mind too is hibiscus, because there's lots of hibiscus down in Mexico, and that's another high in vitamin C herb tea.
And Jamaica, which is what they sell it in the form of dried hibiscus, you can actually get in Canada now.
Nice.
So you can buy the dried forms, and it might be called Jamaica, which is a J, not a H, as it sounds,
Jamaica
flowers, which are hibiscus flowers.
Right.
Usually I bring a big bag back because they're very light to put in my luggage, and they're an okay kind of thing to come through customs. So you can bring back a big bag, and you can, of course, make it to the intensity. And I talk at intensity with sweetness, because here you can buy it on just about every street corner in a made up form, but you have a 50-50 chance of how sweet is it based on who's made it. And some it's like it's total sugar in a container, which doesn't work for me, whereas I like mine very tart, and people can add honey or whatever to it as they want it. So so hibiscus flowers are very good.
It is good that you noted too, Jamaica is like the way that you might find it, because the ornamental hibiscus is not the same thing.
No. So don't try ripping your hibiscus flowers off, because you may get a very embittered taste. They're most of the hibiscus that we have in North America are propagated to create the beautiful big flower.
Right. Yes.
And of course, not the actual good stuff that you want. So,
I mean, in a way, we're just talking vibrational, right? Those flowers are really wonderful for your heart and for your energy field. Or throw them in a bath, why not? But won't have the same effects if you swallow it down. Yeah.
Well, I know that some people like to put little rosebuds in their bath and stuff like that. And
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah. So add a few hibiscus flowers and stuff in there, but don't try drinking. Not that way. So, coming back to like different ways to keep yourself well this winter. One of the things, if we stick in the physical realm for a moment more, is getting out in nature and going for walks, right? Grounding yourself, turning off your TV and radio and leaving your cell phone behind maybe. And, just getting out, feeling the air, feeling the ground below you, listening to the wind, slowing down, and really walking is so therapeutic for you. Not only is it good for your cardiovascular system and your muscular system, but it's also a way for us to move through our emotions. You move with your breath, and it's almost like you take a step, you take a breath in as you're feeling something, you exhale and you keep moving. And it's very important, this, even just this concept of walking forward, like walking through grief, walking through anxiety, walking through sadness, whatever that heavier emotion is. I know in my experience, and in many of my clients' experience as well, there's something that that movement that can really, really help us to shift. So I know if I'm walking and I'm emotional about something, with the steps I take, because I'm there with the intention, I'll talk to myself, and then it allows things to open up. And usually I'll end up at a spot where I'll either look out onto a vista or be close to a tree, and I'm like, this is where I need to be. Now I need to commune. And of course, in North America at the moment, it's not as conducive to be outside, but muffle up, like put your ear mufflers on and your scarf around you, and just go for the walk. And I do actually take my phone with me, but it's switched to airplane mode, because that's usually when I'll see this amazing sight, whether it's a bird or a tree or just the way the sunlight's coming through, or the waves lapping on the beach, because we're in North America where we both live. When I'm there, we can walk around Lake Erie, certain parts that we have lots of nature reserves and things like that are open to the public. And it costs nothing but your time and energy. So I love that. It's definitely important to get grounded and recentered onto what do you value, you truly value.
And what's real right now. We are creatures of habit. We like the comforting habits of checking in perhaps with the news, or checking in with what's going on in our latest COVID cases and whatnot. But like, what's real for you right now in this moment when you're outside? Maybe you don't, that concern wrapping yourself around all the fear and the negativity that's being really projected a lot right now, that can sort of dissolve. You can let the wind sort of help you.
Yeah, I sometimes for me, it's like I'll stand there and I'll let out this silent scream, and it's just like the ethos, the universe will take it up, or I'll hug a tree and just say, I need your strength, or something like that. So there's ways that each of us do that. But I say to people, if you do need to check in on stuff, just do it once a day. Yeah. And then step away from it, because if not, it consumes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Not in a great way, sadly.
Right. Yeah. So on that, once a day kind of prescribing sort of idea.
Yeah.
My husband recently went to a physiotherapist, and he had some shoulder issues, and she knew about his history with some more emotional and psychological conditions. Right away, she prescribed belly breathing. And I was like, you know what? That's awesome. Everyone should be prescribed some belly breathing once a day. You know what I mean? Just like sitting with your feet on the ground, maybe even placing a hand on the belly so that you can feel where my
breath coming into your diaphragm.
Exactly. Yes. And this is, physically helping to tone the abdomen, the diaphragm, so that it becomes a little bit easier every day that you're doing it, to take fuller, deeper breaths. It helps to clear the mind. It helps with fatigue, because once you actually start letting go of all the used up air, you're getting out that CO2, which typically we breathe in our chests pretty shallow, and we don't let go of all that. So belly breathing, getting out in nature, relying on your herbal friends. And another thing that I'd like to suggest as well is meditation or yoga, or a moving meditation of sorts.
Yes.
This is a timeless practice, really, of coming to the present moment and just observing. And I'd like to also mention that there are many different forms of meditation.
Yes.
I can't tell you how many times people come to me and say, "Oh, I can't meditate."
I know.
Like my mind never shuts off. I can't meditate. And the thing is, like, that's okay, because everyone's mind is always going. And unless you're a practiced Buddhist monk who's been,
years and years of doing this. Yeah.
You're right. Like doing it forever, even them, they have thoughts, and, it's a very human thing of us to feel like that's defeat. Yeah. But the thing is, it's not. It's just the opportunity to recognize, oh, I had a thought. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm going to go back to my breath. And, oh, I had another thought. Oh, okay. Let's see if I can come back to my breath now. Yeah. And, so exploring meditation. There are so many resources out there that offer different styles of meditation that perhaps you may connect to one lineage or one tradition more so than another. I know for an anxious mind, or even for myself, when I'm in a state where, I'm just having these perpetual negative thoughts and I'm worried about something, I come back to mantra. Yes. Because mantra, right? Like it's a way of transforming the vibration of your mind. And it's repeating a phrase or a word, or perhaps a Sanskrit mantra. It's a vibration that's set with intention. And it doesn't have to be fancy. It can just be, I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out. I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out, right? Or like taking in peace, letting go love. Yes. There's perhaps a Gurmukhi or a Sanskrit mantra that resonates with you. This is just a very, very powerful way of staying in the present moment, because you're using your physical body to draw your mind here. Yes. So.
And that's why with the affirmations, the I am sacred and the I am vibrational, when the cards, it's just I am. So based on resonating with self. And as you say, with meditation, a lot of people sadly set themselves up to fail. And I always say, if you can give yourself 1 minute, just 1 minute, 60 seconds.
Yeah.
just to be there fully present with you, not everything else that's going on around you. And that's why I say, listen to a piece of music, or, read something, or say something over and over again. It doesn't have to be, as you say, like a Buddhist monk that has taken years and years and years of training.
Yeah, exactly.
Use that time if you're out walking, just to be carefully present and make that walking meditation. So I love that. So you mentioned to me beforehand that you'd like to do a meditation, especially because it's winter solstice, and just joining. I'm doing one on the beach tonight through the sharing place, which if you are not part of that group, let me just see if I can, I'm trying to put the banner up here. If you're not part of that group, you can join here. So it's the sharing space, and it's also on the feed here, and that will be tonight at 5 p.m. MST and 7 p.m. Eastern. But you have to be a member, because I have that exclusive group, which is free to join and free to be part of, but that way you can be there and enjoy and participate. And I'm doing sunset salutations tonight and walking the labyrinth. So Jordan, this is going to be an absolute pleasure to be able to sit back and enjoy a meditation rather than me stating it. So I love that idea.
Awesome. Nice. Well, as you mentioned, today is the winter solstice, and this is a very special day in the Northern Hemisphere anyway.
Yes.
There's a winter solstice, and I think it's June 21st in the Southern Hemisphere. Yeah. So for those of you who are up here with us, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's the shortest day of the year. We have a very small little peak of sun, and then after today, it starts to become a little bit longer and a little bit longer. And I always feel like there's this almost like a challenge in the winter time leading up to the winter solstice, because our days are short. You go to work and it's dark, you come home and it's dark, and it can be hard on your soul, it can be hard on your mind. And so I like to process this in a ceremonial way, to acknowledge everything really in the whole year leading up to this day. What challenges were there? What celebrations did we have? What changes did we move through? To acknowledge them. And I also feel like this day is appropriate for letting go. It's time to take all of that struggle, all of everything, the good and the bad, but to ceremoniously let that go, knowing that tomorrow is a new day and the day is getting longer. We're coming back into the time of the sun. So we set an intention for what we want moving forward. A lot of people think about this type of practice for New Year's Day, which makes sense. For me, it's around the winter solstice, because being a little bit more nature-based in my experience, it's the perfect time to, take everything that led us here, acknowledging it, and then letting it go so that we can create something and let that manifest, and let the energy of the new sun sort of empower that in our lives.
I always love it. It's like Mother saying, okay, just whatever it is that's bothering you, get it out.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And then let the void be filled with something that is going to sustain you and help you and assist you.
Yes.
So I love that.
Yeah. So that's the intention with our meditation today. Okay.
Okay, I love it.
So wherever you are, come to a comfortable seat. If it feels good, you can let your eyes close. And if you feel like your mind is particularly active today, then close the eyes most of the way, but look down towards your chin, letting a little sliver of light come in. both feet on the ground if you're sitting in a chair. And if you're sitting on the ground, then pay attention to both of your seat bones connecting to the earth. We'll move the body in any way that it needs to so that you can find a comfortable place to rest in stillness. Go ahead and allow your tailbone to shift down towards the earth. And very gently begin to lift upwards through the spinal column. The heart lifts, the shoulders relax back and away from your ears. The back of the neck grows long. The chin drops just slightly. And it's as if your head is just floating above the body, and the spinal column is reaching up towards it. Begin to notice where in your body you feel your breath. Perhaps you feel it on the nostrils or the upper lip. You may notice it at the back of the throat or in the chest. You may feel your breath in your rib cage, and perhaps you feel it in your belly. Now we'll gradually begin to lengthen that breath and encourage the breath into the belly space so that as the inhale comes, the belly expands like a balloon in all directions. And on your exhale, your belly button gently pulls upwards and in towards the spine, so you can let go of all the used up air. Thoughts may come and sensations will likely arise. Throughout your practice here, be kind to yourself as you notice these thoughts and feelings. Simply let them go. Coming back to your breath. Now I'd like you to envision a beautiful wintry forest. It's so quiet that you can just hear snowflakes falling. Perhaps you can hear the formation of icicles. Find a very nice, welcoming space to sit down. With each breath in, you draw in the peace and serenity of this quiet winter land. And with each exhale, you can see your breath leaving. Send on that breath any energy that doesn't feel right. Any energy that isn't helping you in this moment, just let it go. You can watch that breath drifting off and dissipating out into the space around you. Take a moment here to reflect. Reflect on a few challenges that you've had this year. It could be physical, social, emotional, spiritual. Anything that it is okay. In this space, we are not diving back into the experience of these challenges, but we are recognizing that they lived and have passed. Take a deep, slow breath in through the nose and sigh it out. Looking again into this wintry space, feeling the comfort of the quiet snow and forest around you. Now reflect upon the celebrations that you had in this past year. It could have been celebrations of personal achievements, celebrations for other people, for phenomena in the earth, celebrations for traditions in community and culture. Notice whatever comes, but try not to dive into the experience of the celebration, remaining an observer, acknowledging the life of the celebration and also that it has passed. Take a deep, slow breath in through your nose and sigh it out. Once again, anchoring yourself in this quiet, peaceful landscape underneath this winter solstice sun. This time, reflect upon what changes have happened this year to you. This could be change in your physical being, change in your energetic being, in your emotional self, changes in your social settings. Changes in your perception. Again, whatever comes to mind, kindly acknowledge it and remain the observer, just watching the event rise and moving on. Take another slow and deep breath in through the nose and sigh it out the mouth. Each of these monumental experiences that you've had over the last year, the challenges, the celebrations, the changes, they have helped you to become who you are right now. So whether they were filled with difficult emotions, beautiful emotions, and new revelations, let us send some gratitude for the experience. Take a deep breath in. On the exhale, let us let go of each of these things, watching them like snowflakes, dissipating as they meet the forest floor, releasing them from our field of energy, releasing them from our psyche, releasing them from our physical body, where we may have had sensations attached or associated with them. Now, gaze out one more time upon this peaceful, bright, snowy landscape and set an intention for the year ahead. One thing that you would love to bring into your life, or one thing that you would love to produce, to manifest in your life. Allow your mind to settle on this intention. Allow the energy to collect around it until you feel this intention in your mind and in your heart. Now, take a deep, slow breath in through your nose and sighing it out your mouth, giving life to this intention with the breath. One more time, deep, slow breath in through the nose, sighing it out. Let's bring the right hand over top of the heart center, and we'll bring the left hand on top of the right. With our feet and our seat bones grounded, we connect with the earth below us. With our head high in the air, we connect with the heavens above. And at the heart center, we draw both of these energies in to integrate and to empower our minds, our hearts, our bodies, our souls, and this intention. We'll take one more slow breath in together. And as we exhale, let's release this meditation. Wiggling the toes, releasing the hands down into the lap, and gently opening your eyes.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. For me, that was actually wonderful to be able to participate.
Good. Thank you.
And not be leading. So thank you very much. That was very soothing.
Good, I'm glad.
So thank you. Anybody has any questions or thanks, just pop it into the feed there. We'd love to see it. So, because I've really appreciated so much of the time that we spent here together today. So is there anything else you want to share, or anything like any upcoming events or things that people you can connect with? Jordan, her information is in the feed. So Gail has just said here, let me just put that on. That was amazing. Thank you so much. So thank you, Gail, for sharing and letting us know on that. So I'm sure there'll be lots of other comments coming up in the feed there. So people like myself, it's like, oh, wow. So yeah.
Okay, well.
Share away.
We do have some events coming up. As you know, we just opened recently. And we are obviously with COVID at a limited capacity right now. So at this point, our personal services are not available. But we are offering our yoga classes online.
Oh, perfect.
Yes. So our full yoga schedule is up on Facebook and Instagram, as well as my website, astateofhealth.ca. And you can find the classes there, and you can register for Zoom. So we are very happy to still be able to connect in one way or another. So that is going on. We are currently doing our curbside pickup for all of our retail items and gift certificates and gift baskets. We support all of the local businesses here that do anything related to wellness. So we've got some food items and skincare stuff. Obviously, I make lots of teas here. We have aromatherapy as well. So that's lovely. And coming up in January, we do have some fun events. Now, obviously, we'll have to make adjustments whether it'll be in person or online. But I do have a new moon shamanic journey circle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I love this event. I do it every month, either on or around the new moon, depending on our schedule of events here. So I am a shamanic practitioner. So I do the drumming and I guide individuals into the shamanic journey, which is similar to this guided meditation that we just did together. But we also open it up to doing free journeys and where we share about the connections in the spirit world that we made, to the lessons that came through, to the healings that were given. And we do a journey as a collective group. We come up with a purpose for it, some way that we want to support our community, either locally or globally. We dive into one issue and ask our helping spirits to provide information about it. How can we help the situation? What is our role here? So it's a very empowering practice that gives us a sense of purpose and connection and drive to, support others. It's really beautiful. So that's on the new moon. It's January 12th. And I also have a full moon sound bath coming up. Yeah, so that I'm really excited about. I'm collaborating with Sheila Goodfellow, who is amazing with sound bathing. She has some wonderful gongs and bowls that she works with.
Oh, wow.
We've got the singing bowls on site here, and we're using drums and rattles and bells and chimes and you name it. Lots of some of the auditory gift as well, that sort of instrument. And the purpose of the full moon sound bath is to really shake out and release.
Let it go.
Right? Yeah, let it go and empower ourselves again. Come back to that state of harmony with ourselves, with our souls, and with nature.
Yeah.
So that's a beautiful event. And that'll be January 29th.
Perfect.
And then the other thing that I wanted to mention is a Soul Notes workshop that's coming up also in January. So this is a beautiful workshop that's facilitated by Tammy Reed, and she is an amazing writer. And so what she has sort of done through, I think, divination is come up with certain questions to provoke insight and get you connecting with your soul, connecting with your true self. So there are 4 different events. It's week to week. You can do it just one at a time if there's one particular blueprint, she calls them, that resonates with you. Or if you're looking for some real transformation and getting in touch with your spirit, I would highly suggest doing all 4. So that's starting January 16th, and it'll be the following 4 weeks. So that's another really exciting workshop we've got coming up.
Love it. Well, thank you, Jordan, for joining me. I really enjoyed today. Actually being able to sit and have a meditation and not be running it is wonderful.
It was my pleasure.
Again, anybody that wants to join me this evening for winter solstice on the beach virtually, where I'll be walking the labyrinth, so you can set some intentions. And anybody in the sharing room, which is my private space, if you haven't watched the how to walk a labyrinth need to do it before tonight, because I'm not going to walk you through it tonight. We're going to walk it together, and you can set your own intention. And then I'm going to be doing some sunset, so winter solstice salutations that we'll repeat and set intention. So that's the sharing room on Facebook. So join me next Monday at noon Eastern, when I will have my last guest for 2020. And yes, it's going to be my last Monday Live that I'll be doing. It's time to move forward, the end of the year, to change things up. And for anybody who knows and enjoys my connections, I will still be having guests join me, but not on a regular basis. And it will be done in such a way that anybody that is busy during the day can do it during the evening or a weekend. So my last guest is on the 28th of December is Shelley Rusgis. And we will be having that discussion, especially after all the eating, holiday blues and bloat. So hopefully everyone will be able to join us there. And again, I put this onto YouTube and into the sharing place. And for anyone joining us now or later, I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas from my heart to yours. And I'm sure you do too, Jordan. So, it's going to be different this year. But different isn't a bad thing.
That's right.
Embrace it and set your own new traditions.
Yeah.
It's the way to do it. It's like, see it as an opportunity to set new intentions, new goals, new ways. Because when we think about it, all our holiday traditions that we've had in the past have either been passed down or we've created them at some point for a reason. So this year, make it anew and just embrace it. So vibrational blessings, enjoying your true vibrational essence always. Thank you.
Thank you.